Ever wonder what it takes for someone truly evil to transform their life completely, Sam? The story of King Manasseh might shatter everything we think we know about redemption and second chances.
That's such a fascinating angle, Pappy, because we're talking about someone who wasn't just bad. Historical records paint him as literally one of the worst rulers in ancient Judah's history.
Well, here's what makes this story so incredible. Imagine being so notorious that your name becomes synonymous with terrible leadership, and then writing something so profound that it becomes a model for redemption across multiple faiths for thousands of years.
You know what really gets me? The fact that this transformation happened in a Babylonian prison cell. Talk about hitting rock bottom.
And that's precisely what makes this so relevant to modern discussions about rehabilitation and redemption. Here's someone who had absolute power, did horrible things, and then found himself stripped of everything. That's when the real change began.
The structure of his prayer is pretty remarkable, too. He starts by acknowledging this higher power before he even dares to ask for forgiveness.
Right? And what's fascinating is how he builds this case for mercy. He references previous examples of forgiveness: Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. It's like he's presenting evidence in a cosmic courtroom.
Hmm, that's such an interesting way to look at it. He's essentially making a legal argument based on historical precedent, isn't he?
Exactly. And here's what's really powerful: he doesn't just say, I'm sorry. He uses the phrase, I have multiplied evil. That level of raw honesty is pretty rare, especially from someone who once held absolute power.
Well, that makes me think about modern public apologies, the carefully crafted PR statements we're also used to seeing.
Oh man, the contrast is stark. Like, when's the last time you heard a public figure say, I have multiplied evil, instead of mistakes were made, or if anyone was offended?
So, what happened after this incredible prayer? Did he actually follow through with his promises?
That's where this story gets even more interesting. Historical records show that when he returned to Jerusalem, he completely transformed his kingdom. He removed all the idols he'd installed, restored proper worship practices, and basically undid all his previous harmful policies.
You know what's fascinating about that? It challenges our modern notion of who can be redeemed. We live in a culture that's quick to write people off as irredeemable.
And here's the thing: this prayer has become a sort of blueprint for processing guilt and shame productively. Instead of letting shame paralyze him, Manasseh used it as a catalyst for real change.
The psychological aspects of this are pretty profound when you think about it. The way he moves from acknowledgement to confession to promise of change.
Well, it's like this perfect case study in genuine transformation. First, there's this complete abandonment of pride, no excuses, no minimizing. Then there's this specific commitment to change, and finally, actual follow through.
That really connects to modern discussions about restorative justice. The idea that proper redemption involves not just personal change, but also making amends to the community.
Exactly. And here's what I find most powerful about this whole story: Manasseh's legacy isn't as an evil king he started as, but as someone who proved that genuine transformation is possible, no matter how far you've fallen.
That's such a timeless message, Pappy. It's never too late to change if you're willing to do the hard work of honest self reflection and genuine transformation.
And maybe, Sam, that's why this prayer has survived for thousands of years. Every generation needs to believe in the possibility of redemption, even for those we've written off as beyond hope.